Lovers Quarrel. It's a long, sustained quarrel.
What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr. New Cool.
It's Dani, your ever exhausted emu.
Okay.
See, that's my alliteration.
Every week.
But it's Dani, yeah.
All that good stuff.
Because I'm tired.
You smiling though.
I am, but I'm tired.
Okay.
But you know what? Tomorrow's my Friday, so.
True.
Get excited.
All that good stuff.
Every day's been your Friday this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still recovering.
Yes, how are your eyes now? You almost died the other night.
I didn't almost die. But I told you it was coming out.
Okay, your contact lens?
Yes.
That's because what did the doctor say? You got strong eyeballs?
It said it recovered strong. But I didn't go to sleep.
You blinked out
Sunday I couldn't go to sleep. I was up the whole time.
Oh, me and Tatum were knocked out.
Yeah, y'all were. I was trying to go to sleep, but I just kept feeling that damn contact lens.
You should have wore contacts before you got surgery, and you
I
weren't used to it.
I couldn't. When I tried to get contact lens, they was like, you got to take it out, then you got to put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out.
They never made me do that.
And I was there for like 45 minutes trying.
With your strong eyeballs.
And then the person was like getting upset with me. I was
optometrist?
Said, fuck this. Give me glasses. I'm not doing this. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, how are you doing other than your healing eyes?
I'm doing well. How about you and your forever being tired?
I'm all right, all things considered. School's about to start up next week, so I'm kind of cringing about that. But it's the last semester, final hurdles. So they ain't getting nothing out of me after May 23rd. You already know this.
Exactly.
But this is another episode of Lovers Quarrel.
It is.
And we do have guests, and of course, like always, we will formally introduce them later in the episode. But say hi, guys.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
All right, and we're always gonna get started with some elevator talk. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Are you going up or down?
I'm going up.
Let me see. You can start with me. I'm gonna go down first.
Yeah. Going down.
No, so California just passed a law. They switched the law that if you don't tell your partner or if you don't tell the people that you have sex with that you are HIV positive, it's no longer a felony. Because they're trying to destigmatize it.
Oh, so there's definitely two ways to look at that.
Yeah,
okay. I'm just guessing since you're going down, you're on the side of that's something that should be.
Yeah.
Is it still criminal, but it's just not?
Yeah, I mean, you'll still get I think it's a misdemeanor now instead of a felony.
Okay.
Because they're saying that people aren't dying from it, so they're not dying the way that they used to die from it. So it's
this is true,
I guess.
But that's still something I feel like you need to divulge.
100%. I think you got to give people a choice. You got to give someone a choice that if they still want to mess with you and they know that you have it, then that's different. But to take away that choice,
I feel like that's wild.
It is.
If you learned about that after the fact.
Yeah. It could cause. There's a whole snowball effect I can see happening.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. I definitely can understand wanting to not stigmatize people who have HIV, because everybody doesn't get HIV from having unprotected sex or from drug use or things like that. There's some people who got it in utero, their parent had it and they weren't. So there's a person who never had a choice or there's people out there still, and not so often, not more recently, but there's still people out there now who got it from blood transfusions that they were sick in the hospital and needed one. And I can see not wanting to stigmatize people who, especially those who I guess didn't participate in unsafe behaviors and contracted it. They were either born with it or got it by accident, and understanding that those people don't deserve to be treated differently. And even the people who did participate in unsafe behaviors, I'm not saying that they do deserve it. I'm just saying that I don't know. I just feel like it's really kind of a tricky place to stand on that one, because you got people who live their life a certain way, but then they clean up their act or they change. Everybody. We are not people shouldn't be left to be judged by a portion or a time in their lives, or like a solitary moment, or a downward spiral that they had, if that's not who they are anymore. But at the same time, like, I agree, like, everybody deserves the right to know, because that way you can make an informed decision. So I can see how that is definitely, it's a very dangerous two-sided coin. Huh?
So from 3 to 8 years to a 6 month.
So there's still some punishment.
But, like, I think that punishing someone 6 months for giving me something that I'll have to manage for the rest of my life is it's imbalanced.
Yeah, it's definitely not I don't know. I can see them both sides, but I can see if I was on the receiving end.
Right.
If I was on the receiving end, I'd be like, obviously, I'd be just as irate and upset. But then,
like, if you want to destigmatize it, have more commercials, talk about it more.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that if someone, so there could be a guy who's not 6 months, like,
I get it.
Okay, so now I'm not telling nobody anything, and it is what it is. Or for a woman,
I get it.
I'm not saying nothing.
I guess I get the.
I could do 6 months.
I guess I get the intention, but sometimes, that's a lot. But
I think it's a slippery slope, and then you start opening it up for other things.
Okay.
Are you gonna say rape shouldn't be?
No, we're not saying that.
No, I didn't say that you are, but I'm saying this opens the door for other things to be questioned or to be fought against.
Someone's gonna use it.
I mean, everybody's gonna try to find a way. I obviously don't see the correlation between the two,
well,
but I'm sure
I'm not correlated to. I just use rape as an example, or molestation, or pedophilia. Like, are we gonna start like looking at those two? Are we gonna say, well, statutory rape, they were close in age, so instead of it being forever, instead of you having to register as a sex offender, you just do your jail time and now you're not a sex offender. Like, it opens up the doors. So that's why it's down for me.
Well, you successfully killed the mood, but thank you. But I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, no, I had another one, so we can go up. Go ahead.
Oh, thank God, because you had us in the basement just now. Going up.
Let me hear what you got.
Oh, so we're gonna like tag team this? Okay.
I just want to hear what you have.
I mean, mine are pretty simple. So my first one was
pretty simple.
I rolled my eyes, y'all. Sorry. First one was I don't know if you've seen the Gillette ad that just came out about like.
I didn't. I heard about it.
Yeah. So it's basically it's they're saying used to be like the best a man can get or something like that, and so but they kind of flipped it, and the commercial shows a lot of like stereotypical kind of male things of two boys like roughhousing and fighting, and one's like really kind of getting the better of the other one, and they're like, oh, boys will be boys, and somebody like kind of being a creep or like catcalling a woman and making her uncomfortable and nobody really saying anything, and basically it talks about how like in order for like the next generation of boys to be better, then it takes the men now to start like calling some of that stuff out. So it was one dad finally steps up and breaks up the fight, and he's like, no, this is not okay, like you need to stop. And then like it was another boy like that was being chased by a group of other boys, and like a dad was with his son, and he like broke it up, and he's like, are you okay? Like the bullying, and then basically it was just showing that like some of that toxic masculinity, how it's up to men today to start to change that in order for the boys that are going to grow into men to be able to understand that that's wrong. And I've seen people up in arms about it and like, oh, you're this is man bashing, this and that. And I'm like, it's not man bashing, it's just it's an ad against toxic masculinity. There's masculinity and there's toxic masculinity, and I don't see anything wrong with that, because personally I agree with that like narrative. Like, we gotta change that stuff so that way you don't think that it's okay to like grab up on a woman or think that and accost her, and the commercial just showed this. So I thought it was a positive thing. I thought it was a step in the right direction, especially for a brand that is synonymous with men. And then even more lighthearted than that, I don't know about y'all, but I cracked up today watching Soulja Boy on the Breakfast Club, and then Chingy rehearsing for the Millennium Tour. And so if you haven't seen it, you gotta Google Soulja Boy talking about Drake on the Breakfast Club. He said Drake, like
he brought the receipts though.
He did. And I just prayed for him because TJ is the biggest Drake fan, and I was like, babe, I'm like, he copied him, and he was like, where did you hear this? I was like, so I was scrolling through Twitter before y'all got here, and I'm like, I found it, and I'm like, it's almost like word for word that he took that from him, and I'm like, damn, okay, well. And then
Drake Stan's not gonna let that rock though.
Never.
I mean, it is what it is. Right now. That was 90 years ago. You know, we gotta move on. You know?
Got it. We gotta leave it in the past.
Like a true Drake fan.
Yeah. And then
you know,
because
it's all becoming a lie to me now.
Yeah. But now people out there like caping hard for Soulja Boy. They were like, Soulja Boy, died on the hill for all you SoundCloud rappers, and they were like,
I think it was important that he did it for people today, if that makes sense. Like, if you followed Soulja Boy when he first came out, you knew the stuff that he did.
Yeah, he was huge when we were in college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was huge. He was huge in YouTube and ringtones and the streaming.
Yeah, ringtone
He had
rapper.
a run. His run was good.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very.
So I think it's important that he was able to do that and kind of get newer fans and newer people and people who didn't know that what stuff he's doing. Like, Soulja Boy used to have YouTube popping.
I know.
Before YouTube was like.
But I feel like in order for him to maintain that relevancy, he's going to have to do something else.
Put some content out.
Yeah.
I mean, he has music.
Because
it
I feel
may
like...
not be good music, but he has music. Yeah. He just released like a new mixtape. And
did he?
Yikes.
Yeah.
I just heard about that that console he did.
He did the console.
It's like a jailbroken it's like a jailbroke Wii U or something like that.
Yeah, but
a Switch. That's what it is.
He's always been
Nintendo
doing
slapped
stuff.
him with like a lawsuit or some shit like that.
And if you go to his website, whatever website the console is sold on, it takes you to the Nintendo website.
Oh yeah,
it does.
Yeah, they're not playing. Nintendo's not playing. The people in Japan and America was like, nah.
So we shut this down quick.
Exactly.
It was funny. It was definitely funny.
And then my last thing was Chingy rehearsing for the Millennium Tour. Did y'all see that? So I was never the biggest like
I didn't know
BTK fan.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't even tell except that it was in the title.
Oh my god!
But I seen it. I'm like, why are people laughing?
I cried.
And then now that I know, like, it looks bad. like they got to take him off the tour.
So
nah, you can't come on.
He needs to get a haircut.
Yeah, he practicing in the basement of like 1999.
Oh my god!
The
no, it
video
like
definitely looked like it.
It was like. But he just looks like somebody's uncle. Like it's just like everybody now has an uncle that looks like that. and then the thing about it is like I saw it on the Shade Room, so I'm like laughing, and then Jess Hilarious comments, and then she's from the Temptation. She was like, "Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis." Like I'm just like, oh, I couldn't breathe. I was like crying, laughing on the way home. But that's all I got going on. But guys, do you guys have anything that's on your spirit that you want to up, down, whatever, commentary, something you saw that made you laugh or roll your eyes? If not, it's okay.
I have a personal.
Go ahead.
I'm very happy to have joined the Game of Thrones bandwagon.
Oh, really?
And when did I start? I started January 1st, and I'm already on season 5.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How many
16 days in.
7.
It's 7, okay.
Yes.
I keep hearing amazing. My sister binged it like a year and a half ago.
I heard it's
I haven't watched any of it yet.
I heard you gotta like get past like episode 4.
I had trouble getting past episode 1.
Yeah,
I tried like 3 times to watch it.
Yeah, I heard you have to get past like episode 4 of season 1, and then it gets like good.
Amazing.
When it turns up, it turns up.
Yeah, episode 4 is when it turns up.
And then you're like, all right, so I gotta watch every other episode.
And everything you thought you knew was a lie.
And I'm gonna watch.
Because I mean, I hear all the cultural references. Like I'm not so out of it. So like I know like you had the Red Wedding, and then you have Hodor, and you have the winter is coming, and like. I get it, but I don't get it. Huh?
It's like King of the North or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and like there's the chick with the white hair and the braids, and You know, I read how, like, I peeped how, like, you know, the more, like, battles you win, she gets more braids in her hair or something like that. Because, like, in the beginning, she didn't have hardly any braids.
I missed that.
And now she has what was her name? Daenerys or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, I read something on, like, BuzzFeed, and it was, like, if you peep, like they add more braids to the hair, the more, like, victorious or whatever she becomes.
Okay.
So, like, in the beginning season, she doesn't have a lot of braids, but then by the time it gets to, like, 5, 6, 7, she's got, like, mad braids in her hair.
I just know that the final season is like 6. It's only like 6 episodes.
Because it wasn't
really short.
Wasn't the
Each
author
episode
still?
was supposed to be like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I said. He said it's
Balance.
like, he said it's like 6 mini movies.
I mean,
Take it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to watch that.
It's juicy, guys.
Yeah. You know what? In all honesty, like, I'm so behind on, like, everything. Because if it's not, like, and he's watches a lot of hood booger shows. So I don't really watch a lot of TV, especially because
I watch a lot of hood booger shows. That's really...
I mean, what does our DVR look like right now? Because you control the DVR.
I have some... there's some hood booger stuff in there. Don't get me wrong.
Just sprinkled in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
the only show I have on DVR is Living Single, and that's a classic.
For who?
For everybody.
Everyone.
Wow.
Exactly.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You
I
have...
wasn't, like...
What are your sprinkled in hood burger shows? You have Married at First Sight. You have Love and Hip Hop, whatever.
Married at First Sight. That's not even a hood booger.
Okay, that's hood booger adjacent.
No,
okay,
no, it's reality TV.
You have
it's real world hood booger.
Now it's not even. There's no real world anymore. It's Are You the One and all that stupid shit.
I'm just saying. It's different.
You have whatever Love and Hip Hop is on. You have Black Ink, New York, and Chicago.
I haven't watched it, but yes, I do.
Okay, but it's on our DVR. It's taking up memory.
You can delete it.
All right, bet. Okay. So anyway, moving right along.
And I haven't watched all that stuff like that. All I watch most of the time, right now, I'm watching SVU.
Yes, he is.
I started from season 1.
20,000
I was
episodes.
gonna say that's gonna take you.
We still got Stabler.
Yeah.
Like we still like.
Okay. I think I stopped watching when Stabler.
Yeah.
Did.
It
actually got better when he left.
That's what my mother says.
It got so much better. The writing was so much.
There was like a little like low there where it was a little iffy, but then even now it's still
the writing was got better. So I watched that and I watched The Wire.
He does watch The Wire.
I watched The Wire.
That's not hood booger TV. That's a classic.
What?
See, if you talk about Game of Thrones, we're gonna talk about you in The Wire.
What?
Yeah, you gotta watch The Wire.
I think maybe I got 4 or 5 episodes into the first season, but that was like maybe a couple of months ago. I wasn't allowed to watch it as a child, so it wasn't on my radar.
Fair.
That's when you finish Game of Thrones. That's what we'll do.
Yo,
okay,
it's so good, and every time I watch it over, I like notice new shit. Like, oh shit! Like I used to hate season 2. Season 2 is trash, and then I watch season 2 over, and I'm like, oh shit! So much like that's how they brought in Pop Joe and them. It's a great show. So
it's definitely.
I'm gonna try Games of Thrones.
We could watch it over probably over the summer.
No, I'm gonna watch it
by
without
yourself.
you.
Okay.
I don't have time to be waiting.
Fine, have it.
Exactly.
All right. You ready for the release?
You didn't ask him if he had anything he had to say.
Greg, I apologize.
Golly.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
The Trump episode of Family Guy. That joint had me rolling.
I have to watch that. I have not seen Family Guy in a long time.
When did it come out? Recently?
Yeah, like last
within
week.
a couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got
Super recent. But the whole episode, they're just taking shot after shot, and it is great.
Okay.
It is great.
Anything that bashes that bastard, I'm down for. So, we gotta watch Game of Thrones. We gotta watch the most recent episode of Family Guy where they bash Trump.
I gotta watch The Wire.
We have to watch The Wire.
That's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, but we all got homework now, so you need to probably watch some Living Single to appreciate the classic that it is.
It's a great show. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't like if that was on it or Martin or Wayne's Brothers, I wasn't gonna be like, let me watch Living Single.
That's because you were like 12. Because you were
First off, Wayne Brothers is a classic.
It is,
and Martin's a classic.
It is. It's Living Single.
You put Wayne's Brothers over Martin?
That's tough.
Martin was so good.
Martin was. I mean, it's still timeless. But I grew up like Wayne's Brothers was just so me. It was so.
Okay.
Me and my brother used to watch it. I have so much other things.
Goofy.
Yeah. But Martin's a classic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna I didn't really like Martin growing up, but I was again young. But now I can appreciate it like more. Like I'll laugh at it more. But all right, now
relationship tip.
Yeah, you going first? Or am I going
first?
Nah,
you go first. I gotta see what kind of heat you bring.
You know what? And it's so funny that you mentioned that relationship tip of the week from Dani, the always thoughtful, always nuanced relationship tip giver on the Lovers Quarrel podcast.
You don't have to preface any of that stuff for anybody.
I'm not speaking to you.
Okay.
I'm speaking to the listeners.
All right. Is it inspired by me?
No.
Not this week?
No.
Okay.
It's just a general musing.
We can rate it then. We can see if it really hits souls.
I'm talking here. Go ahead. Thank you. All right. So, in a relationship or any ship, right? I think that sometimes, and this is something that I've definitely gotten better at, but a little friendly competition never hurts.
What?
Emphasis on friendly. Because
do tell. Give me an example.
Because I think that, like, in competition with each other, be it if it's like literally playing a video game or a board game or something, or if it's about, you know, something that's about like your health or whatever, like sometimes a little friendly competition doesn't hurt because it's a push to kind of make yourself better, but then also like push your partner to be better. I think sometimes
quick question, you said that you got better at it. How? When?
I'm sorry, you don't think that I'm good at being competitive a little bit better?
I'm just asking. I just want a nice example. That's it. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm better at taking the loss when, like, the rare occasion that we play chess or something like that, because you always win and I don't get, like, upset, right?
But you never got upset, so that doesn't really count.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I can't think of anything.
It'd have been different if like he's a sore loser.
Well, I'm not a sore loser. But
I know. You want everybody to win, so.
Okay. The point is, that's my business.
You're right.
But point is that I think sometimes a little friendly competition doesn't hurt. Ultimately, I think it sometimes, when done right, when in a healthy fashion, can push you to be a better version of yourself. And I think, like, ultimately, if you're in a relationship, you want to present and you want to be the best version of yourself in that relationship, and you want your partner to be the best version of themselves. And so sometimes a little competition, a little like ribbing, a little like, you know, let's see who get this done first or whatever, can be helpful. But again, I said emphasis on friendly. If everything becomes a competition, if you try to like strong arm somebody into doing something they're not, because there's some people, and I am not the most competitive person probably really at all, but you know, don't strong arm somebody into it, but it's not a bad thing to sometimes engage in that behavior. And that, I think, is my relationship tip. A little competition never hurt. Friendly.
Exactly.
Friendly. Emphasis on
friendly. So I wanted to have relationship tips. That was my friendly, and then you every week come with the shining.
This is because you know you wanted some of my shine, but
how was it your shine?
I accept that you wanted to make this a competition. That's why I win friendly, the competition.
You know,
and that's why I win.
I guess.
So what's your wise words, sir, for this week?
Something simple.
As always, it's always simple.
Just make sure to let those people, this is more so in relationships, remember to let them know that you like them, that you have love for them. Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes we know we love each other, mm-hmm. but we don't always say it or act on it.
Yeah. So show that you like the person as opposed to just love the person?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let them know, like, even though we're in the same house and I see you all the time,
mm-hmm.
and we haven't talked, but I know that we love each other, but, you know, I love you. I like you. So
you love me and you like me? Both. Okay. I love you and I like you too.
Wait up. So why did you need me to say it first for you to say it?
That's not why.
That's what I picked up on it.
I was clarifying.
Yeah, but what I picked up on the clarification was that you needed me to say it first for you to say it back.
You misunderstood.
Okay. I'll take that.
Okay.
You know, so I win.
No, you don't. I think both of them are important.
I think I win.
Y'all know what y'all can do. Y'all can always comment on our page and tell us who you think had a better.
You can concede. It's okay.
I will never concede.
Why not? You would never concede?
No.
Why not?
Because it's a competition.
But you don't always like everyone to lose and win. So if you concede, then you don't have to lose.
I don't like everyone else to lose and win. I like to win.
Okay.
There's a difference.
You got it.
All right.
We're going to take a break.
Yes, we are.
Take a message from our sponsors, and then we'll come back with our lovely guests.
Yes. Let's do it.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gainz Load and Lock grips by Gainz Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor, go to gainsportsgear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
And as always, you know that you can get 10% off your first order if you go to GAINZsportsgear.com and enter the code LOVERS10. Again, you go to GAINZsportsgear.com and enter the code LOVERS10 for 10% off your first order. Thanks, and now let's get back to the show. And we're back, and now it is time for us to formally introduce our guests. You've heard them chiming in with our elevator talk and our relationship tips, but now it's time for us to start talking about them. And we have across from us, we have Mikal Frater, and we have Greg Jewett. Am I saying everybody's names correctly? Yes. I pride myself on doing that. And this lovely couple comes to us because we are going to talk about, again, a topic that we have not yet crossed in relationships and dating, which is interracial dating, because one of these two people is black and the other one is white. We'll let you guess as to who is who. Okay? So thank you guys for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
We really, really appreciate you guys. Also, let me, and always a Greek plug. We have Mikal as a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Happy belated Founders Day.
Thank you very much. And to you as well, Ms.
Gracias, thank you. And Greg is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So
You're not going to say happy.
Oh yeah, happy belated Founders Day. Sorry. It's a lot going on in here. Today's the Zetas, right?
Yeah.
I just want y'all to be able to see that
it's a busy month.
How Dani treats our male guests versus our women guests. That's it. I'm gonna put it out there.
I feel like, but you know what? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna say you being shady because you think you're special because your Founders Day is in December, and then it's just like you group all of us together in one.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm saying that because this is the second time that you just bypassed Greg. Like, he's not here.
How did I bypass him the first time?
When the elevator talk, you asked Mikal, you came straight to her, because
she spoke up.
No, you asked, and then she said, ask him personal. And she wanted this. That's what she said.
Well, you know what? You are my co-host, so I can't do all the work. Like,
oh, is that what we really doing now?
Bang bang. Is
that what we really doing?
Since I got you my back, like, golly.
You right.
Wearing like a backpack.
Why was the episode 2 weeks ago late?
Why was episode 2 weeks ago late?
Oh, okay.
Something probably your fault.
No, you didn't know how to upload and.
No, why was the episode when you had your eye surgery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Because you was out here bird boxing.
Anyway, it's not about us. It's not about us.
Okay. So anyway, thank you guys for coming on, and we appreciate you, being our guests. So we have a little icebreaker question for any couples that we have on, and so take a minute as a teacher. I say take some think time if you need it. But what have been some of the wisest or most kind words that your partner has told you in your relationship? So, like, what's the smartest thing he or she has told you, or what's the kindest thing or nicest thing he or she has told you?
Well, it should be and or.
And or.
Because they may,
If you have both, that's fine too.
You said or can only be one or the other.
Okay, you can do a grammar lesson this time.
Oh my gosh.
So, and we ask that because sometimes people say really smart things, and sometimes people say really nice things, or sometimes they do both. Anything pop into mind? It could be something like really or most recent if you want to do that.
I would say very practical.
Okay.
But something that I kind of lose sight of sometimes He just reminds me all the time to like not stress over things that I can't control.
Serenity Prayer.
Yes.
So
I really appreciate that, because sometimes it just kind of it grounds me sometimes, and I need that.
Oh,
I need it.
That's why we asked that. So it makes it puts everybody in a good space. Now you gotta like hold up. You gotta meet that caliber.
It's hard. I can't think of
I'm
like
a very philosophical person.
Specific, words. It's just
if it's like a vibe or an attitude.
When she walks in the room and everybody's happier.
Aww.
Doesn't even make sense.
See,
she just walks in.
So nice.
You don't want some hearts tonight, guys. I'm gonna start using that.
Don't.
It's just the way that she walks in the room.
Like, you only said it because Greg said it. That's fine. But that's so nice. Oh, see, and I like that. We like to do that because, again, like I said, it puts people in a good space, right? Because sometimes we forget, and TJ and I have been together a long time, so
too long.
It's easy. See, it's easy for you to like sometimes bypass that stuff, like but.
Which is why my tip was so important. You gotta let people know
that you not only do you love them, but you like them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why I win again. Another one.
Friendly competition. All right.
Emphasis on friendly.
Exactly. Emphasis on friendly. So let me ask you this: how long have you guys been together at this point?
It'll be 2 years in May. Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yes. Nice. And that's like officially like we go together.
That's the official date, but it's like closer to 2.5. It'll be 2.5.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, of course, dating, feeling each other, for talking or something.
But it was basically like it was around the new year. It was around the new year that we started talking, and then we made it official.
Decided that you liked each other.
She was fed up. She said
either we is or we ain't.
Pretty much.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
It was one of those.
Can I tell the story?
Yes. The next question is, how did y'all meet?
Oh, I want him to tell that story.
Oh, okay, go ahead. This is your platform. Talk to us.
Go ahead. We can start there, and I'll get to the date.
So we actually met at Jiho, but it was.
Wait, what's Jiho?
Greatest homecoming on earth. Come on.
Okay. I'm not going to pretend like I know. I'm Team Wash. I'm the recording secretary of Team Wash.
Continue.
We were staying with the same people, but like it was unrelated. It was like we just showed up, right? So we showed up at the house when they were gone, and when they came back. Like, we were on the couches, like, we were sprawled out, and they were like, yeah, like, that's our bed, and we're like, you sure? And so we slept on the couches.
Got it.
They had
we slept on air mattresses.
That's fine. Y'all were making a big deal out of it for no reason.
Well, it wasn't our intended sleeping spot.
Oh.
It was love at first sight.
Oh.
I just didn't know it.
Okay, fair enough.
Just had to figure it out later.
Got it. So you guys meet so you kind of have like mutual friends.
Right.
And they're not there when you guys get there. So you're like, hi, I'm Greg. Hi, I'm Mikal. And it's like I just kind of hit it off. No. Oh, okay.
So
you were like,
that was literally the first meeting, and then like there was nothing after that until I slid in her DMs.
Okay, so then like what prompted it from being like, okay, was there like just a really nice post that she put up of herself?
Probably. It was probably something that just caught my eye, and I was like, hold up. And so I went and I was talking to her line sister. I was like, I'm thinking about shooting my shot. Should I shoot my shot? And she was like, yes. And so I shot my shot, and here we are.
It went swish, or did it bounce off the rim a little bit?
I was very hesitant.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
But my line sister's like, just go out with him. Just go once. It's fine. And he charmed me, wooed me, and the rest is history. Oh. But we had been talking, and we were just talking, just going with the flow until maybe like October. And I asked him, I was like, okay, so what is this? He was like, oh, we're dating. You didn't know?
Oh.
So he never actually asked me.
Yeah.
But then I was like, we have to celebrate this again next year, so we should probably choose a date to celebrate on. And we both love fajitas. So
got it. So that's where Cinco de Mayo came in.
Naturally. Yeah.
Okay. I bangs with it. I fucks with it.
It's a unique story.
It is. So what, outside of just the physical attraction, like obviously you gotta think somebody's like decent looking, right? The biology of it and all, but like outside of that, what was like one of the first things that you realized like about the other person that you were like, I like this person, like not that I'm just like attracted to them, but like there's this quality about him, this quality about her that I could fuck with this.
It could be the simplest of things, but Greg is very inquisitive.
I'm glad you appreciate that. I don't.
She doesn't.
At all. TJ has too many fucking questions. But I digress.
It's like I'll say something, he'll ask questions, and then he'll remember. Like, he remembers details. And I'm like, oh, like, I appreciate that. I didn't think you remember that.
Got it.
And I was like,
And to be fair, there's a lot that I don't remember.
Right.
So when you
I got a couple too many concussions in high school. And so my memory is... But some things... Just, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay. How about you?
She's just so caring. Like, about any and everything. And caring to a fault, But... that's something that we all got to work on. Is you don't want to be so involved, with worrying about other people that it impacts you negatively. But being too caring, it's like as far as qualities go. Yeah,
it's definitely there could be worse things. I'm definitely guilty of that as well.
And it's the cancer in us.
Yeah. It's just we're very nurturing. We want to make sure everybody's comfortable and happy.
And the kitchen, but that's that's a whole
was she always a cooker?
Different bag of worms.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I have that cancer in me, but when I have nothing else to do,
you can cook.
I can, but I just
go ahead.
But you know what? I can cook, and when
I may be part at fault.
Why?
Because I'm like picky, so
you are very picky.
So I'm not going to be like
I can appreciate that. Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, this is what I want. So I think that can kill. I mean, I was also like,
you don't let my creative juices flow. That's what it is.
Right.
We'll get into that though when we start talking about penthouse eats. Though we can talk about kitchen stuff. So.
Are you gonna let me ask a question?
Yeah, I am. Go ahead,
sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. I've been carrying the load a lot, so it's okay.
There go the competitive spirit again.
Yes, it is.
Is this y'all's first interracial relationship?
Yeah.
Not mine.
Okay.
Okay, so
I kind of knew the ropes a little bit, and which was helpful for her, her, because she didn't really know, what to expect. When you walk into a restaurant, and people are like, that kind of thing. When it's your first time, you're like, why are all these people like looking at me?
Yes.
Like, and it's like, but to me, it's like
it's nothing.
I don't really care.
Yeah, but it's definitely like a fair feeling, especially if it was like your first time. So this next question I'll kind of direct towards you. So, did you have any initial like, and obviously like it's not concerns within, or maybe it was concerns within yourself, or with like concerns that you had about dating somebody who was not Black, like when you first started, like when you guys really decided, okay, we're together, we're doing this, and like from the being out in public to those things, like did you have, when you were like mulling it over in your head about being with Greg, did it even come to mind first, and then if so, like what things came up?
Not really.
Okay.
Because when we started talking, like I feel like we built a pretty solid friendship first.
Okay.
So I didn't really think twice about it.
Okay.
It was just like, okay, like this is who I'm with, and fuck you if you don't like it.
True that. how about how it was received by others? And I mean, I guess, again, this question kind of go to both of you. So even though this is not your first interracial relationship, you had to start somewhere.
Right.
So maybe like from the first person that you brought home or that you brought around, your friends, and then for you this go around, how was that received by the people, it like close to you, not close to you, strangers? Like, what did that look and feel like?
Well, I've spent my entire life in PG County.
Okay.
So, and my parents were very accepting. You know, you're gonna live in PG County, you're gonna interact with black people one way or another.
Absolutely.
Right? But just how they are, they're just so loving and accepting. It's like, you know, as long as you're doing right by my son, that's all that really matters. You know, and it was never
an issue.
It was never even brought up. There was no, you know, anything having to do with black people. It was never a thing.
True. How about you?
As for my friends, well, at least the friends that I have at Towson, they all know Greg. So that was just like, oh, he's great.
Yeah.
But my at-home friends, they were like, you know, I kind of expected that.
Really?
I'm a diehard Justin Timberlake fan.
So they were like, oh, bitch, we seen this coming. Yeah. Okay.
But I wasn't sure about my dad.
Okay.
In the beginning. I think when I was like, all right, Greg's not going anywhere, I should probably tell my family. I asked my dad, I was like, how do you feel about me dating outside my race? And he was like, I mean, I don't care. I'm not dating him. So, like,
fair.
But again, he was like, as long as he treats you right, then what do I have to say about it? So
if your father would have had a problem, would that have been a problem for your relationship?
I don't think so, because I would have inquired, like, okay, why do you feel this way? And would meeting Greg change that? Because I feel like if he would have had some doubt in his mind, it would have had to been some, maybe like a stereotypical thing.
Yeah. And
I would have kind of tried to fizz that out before I would tell him, hey, this is what it is.
Gotcha. So being in, well, I guess like Greg said, like, so you grew up in PG County, you obviously are not somebody who's not like interacted with people of color your entire life, so you have the benefit of coming into a relationship and having previous relationships with women of color, of like understanding things like culturally, right? So as far as there being, were there any real cultural differences that you realized in this time that you've been together, or is pretty much everything kind of in sync with each other? And no pun intended, you know. So
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Because I'm curious, because you hear all the time that sometimes when people who are dating that are of different cultures, and let's be clear, like not just ethnicity or race, we're talking about like religion, you're talking about sometimes even like geographic locations, like there are just clashes or cultural differences that sometimes it's like a steep learning curve. Like you got to be like, oh, this is why this person does this, you know. I don't know if I could be with somebody who calls soda pop. Like I just, you know,
I did it. It was weird.
Really?
Because it's just like, no, it's
that's something so small, though.
Fucking soda, like it irritates me.
But like if it was something that you heard all the time, I'd probably be like, hey, can they shut the fuck up?
Yeah, like it makes my skin like I call soda. I call sprinkles, not Jimmy's.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah, that's like South Jersey. My line sister calls them Jimmy's, and I'm like, why?
Let's be thankful you don't do that.
Yeah,
right. We're Central Jersey. It's different.
So stuff like that. So I'm like that, because. And you don't, I think sometimes though, babe, you don't realize it until you're faced with it, that sometimes differences, you have to like, the learning curve is steep. Like you got to kind of get
waffles, and I'm like,
I say waffles, yeah.
But it's a waffle.
It's a waffle.
But I'm saying
we're saying the same thing.
No, we're pronouncing it differently. But I'm just saying, if someone says pop versus soda, I'm not gonna be like,
I'm gonna roll my eyes like a lot. I'm gonna be like, really? You know,
well, it's like
I'm just saying
if it's just some random person, but if that's somebody who you see
all the time,
you talk to all the time.
I don't know. I just think for myself, I'm just like, that's something so small on the scale. Like,
well, it might irk you in the beginning.
Yeah,
it could have thrown you off from the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. See, that's what Greg gets it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because listen,
not,
we were just talking to somebody the other day, and like they were talking about like Tim's, right? And so like we would call Tim's or what?
Butters. I call them constructs.
Constructs. We call them constructs. Not butters. I never called them butters. And so someone's like, I was like, butters?
I never heard butters was Maryland.
Yeah.
I got the Maryland.
Really?
Yeah. In New York, we like call them constructs. Because like,
I have never heard that.
Constructs?
Tim's or constructs?
Constructs. I've never heard
because the construction workers wear them.
Yeah.
And so,
that's why you call them constructs.
But you know, because and then I had to start checking. I was like, okay, what do y'all call the brown and green ones? And I'm like, they were like beef and broccoli.
Beef and broccoli.
Like, cool.
I think that's like universal.
I thought constructs were universal, but until I learned differently. So saying what I was saying, bringing it back to y'all. Is there, have you even just to the smallest degree been any type of like hurdle or learning curve that you felt like you had to like overcome in your time dating, or in Greg, in your case, even in the people you've dated previously?
I'm trying to think. I feel like this was a very easy relationship.
That's fine. Listen. Do you guys know of any, like, are you friends with any other couples who are dating interracially or different cultures or religions or anything like that? Because then I would say.
May have had different.
Yeah, that may have had different. Because I said geographic, because who came to mind was like Mercedes and Paul a little bit, because I'm like, she's from Minnesota and he's obviously from out here. And so I just know that it was like geographic, like different things between us. It's just as like friends. So I'm like, I know when they were dating at first, there was that aspect of it too. Shout out to Mercedes and Paul. Hi guys, they're getting married. He's so cute.
I mean, there was nothing big, you know. It like small, like she had to get used to me listening to Go-Go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
See, geographic, because PG.
That's definitely it.
Yeah, because
I can't do it.
Yeah, I
it's like pots and pans.
Exactly.
Now they do have some songs that rock though. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah,
the go-go at the party is my bathroom break.
It takes some time.
It's like
regular,
like a live go-go.
So
like to go there live. But
that's how I feel like when I hear like when the reggae comes on at like a party or something like that. I'm like, there's my cue. Like, let me just go over here to the restroom. Well, we're gonna take that as a no for you guys. You want to take the next one?
No, go ahead. You carrying the show.
I mean, listen.
Call you LeBron.
He is my fave. So like Greg, you did kind of touch on it a little bit earlier, which was like you were like, you know, when y'all first started dating, you know, and going out, you being accustomed to kind of maybe like the second glance, like the hesitance, the glances, the things like that, and but how so. Obviously, you don't have to address it. I don't know if you've ever had any like outright like hostility towards you guys being together from like strangers or anything like that. But even from the very small to if there has been something like that, like how do you address it? Do you just flat out ignore it? Have you ever talked about it? Like what's your take on that?
Never. I haven't had any like in person. Like nobody's like come up to me and Mikal and you know said some outlandish shit. Yeah. Because that probably wouldn't end well.
Probably not.
But like I've definitely like behind closed doors. You know, there's a girl I'm talking to. People would send her messages like, "What are you doing with that white boy?" You know, that kind of stuff. It's like you're mad because I got her and you don't. So.
Fair enough. I can appreciate the confidence.
But I mean that's it's what I expect, you know, and I would say it's getting better probably. Yeah. But you know, if you've never experienced it before, like it's weird, you know, that whole walking into a restaurant and because it's everybody, you know, it's not just white people, it's not just black people, you know, it's everybody. I admit, I got together. Yeah,
are they friends? Are they dating?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
Exactly.
I've definitely like, I can definitely admit that like if I see a couple walk in that are of just some way different, right? You kind of do like your glands like lingers just a second longer than if I like if somebody just me and TJ walking in, you know, or something, and I, you know, but and it's not because for me it's not because I see anything wrong with it. It's just that it's not always it's not the most common thing I see. So if it's something outside of the most common thing I see, you're gonna just be like, oh, okay. I would go so far as to say if I saw a gay couple, if I saw a couple like a guy in a wheelchair and a girl, you know, an able-bodied person, like anything that's not like quite the common thing.
Normal.
I don't know about glance though. I may look over because I'm always looking. So like if somebody walking in, I want to know who walked in and stuff like that. But I don't think I'm have an extra glance unless it was like a Martian walked in. Oh shit! I mean
we all look up. Like you always look up when somebody walks in a room. But like I can admit that like my glance lingers just a second longer, and then I go on about my business and be like, okay, it is what it is. But I think it's because there's something about whomever that couple is walking through the room that gives you. I think that you have to kind of like make sense of it for a second. Like it's not as automatic as it is, but the difference being is that then, like I said, I go about my business and I keep doing what I do.
I mean, it could be for any reason. Yeah, you know, it's not that people are glancing at us, you know, with negative intentions, you know, but it's just, you know, I'm eating my food and I look up and like people are like looking over at us.
And some of those people are looking with a problem. Now they, like you said, like they're not going to necessarily fix their lips to say something, but you know, there are people who, we know that there's people out there who just take issue with it or whatever. But I guess what we want to know is just like, does it bother you at all, or did it in the beginning?
I have a quick story.
Okay.
I posted a picture of us on Twitter. Oh, this was 2017. And some random person, very, very random, commented with a picture of a black woman hanging from a noose.
Oh my fucking gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. I'm not one to argue with people back and forth on Twitter, and I have nothing to explain to anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, I'm going to block you. I'm going to report you, and then continue on about my life. But I'm like, wow, people are really negative for no reason. Like, I didn't know that person
at all.
That's a huge extreme.
Right.
That's like...
That's so
far.
I'm like, okay.
Left, right? They say far left, far
right.
Right.
It's out of left field. Like, and I think too, it's like, you know, and it sucks to say, but like, Mikal, you're gonna get it, even if you get it very rarely, you guys, like, you're gonna get it more than he's gonna get it, and that's a whole nother episode of like just how people of color are going to always be discriminated against. So like you're the wrong person or something like that. So, you know, to me that shit is wild, but I'm glad that, you know, that sounds very Cancer-like too, which is like, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Like, this is stupid. I'm going to block you, whatever. But then it's just like, but it's also like from behind a keyboard. It's behind a cell phone.
Especially on Twitter. People on Twitter, like, they make fake accounts just to do that.
That shit is the wild, wild west. It's like really reckless
so it's like
out there.
That really outlandish shit. It's just get it out the way. Keep it moving.
Yeah. Were you going to say something, baby?
No, I'm agreeing. I'm like, that's why I always say social media is the devil.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, it's a great tool. You get to speak to people. You get to stay in communication with people. You learn stuff quickly. But it's just a lot of negativity. And everyone has something to say. Like, everybody wants to be the first asshole or the first negative comment just to kind of see what they can
ruffle
get.
Feathers.
Yeah. And it's
It might
like,
go viral.
Yeah.
Yes, people definitely operate under the guise of wanting to make sure that they go viral.
It's weird. It's a weird time.
It is. So I think we have like one or two more questions just about like your relationship as a whole. One thing I was gonna ask was, well, I'll say this. Did the fact that you guys are both Greek, so this is like, it's something that we all obviously have in common, but like, did that make things easier as far as just like having like a common thread? Like if you knew nothing else about him, okay, you're like, okay, he's a Kappa, so like we've got something there's like this Greek world that we have in common. Did you feel like that kind of made things easier for you guys to connect in a way, or is that just kind of like?
I wouldn't say necessarily to help connect, but it helped because we knew a lot of the same people, and it helped because like if I gotta go, do something with my brothers, then she understands that. She's not gonna be questioning, why are you always hanging out with them? It's like,
yes,
so it makes it
easier.
why.
Yeah. Very understandable. The same reason, like
you were able to get some. Because I know each other, the network was able to be like faster. So.
Yeah, so now we share like a whole group of friends, that are friends with both of us, but they're friends with both of us for different reasons. They know us from different places, but we're all friends.
And then as individuals, and then now it's like a couple.
Exactly.
Got it. And I mean, it probably didn't hurt that like people vouch for you when you slid in her DMs, right?
Right.
Exactly. It's like, my line sister said, all right, I guess. If my line sister says so, you're like, okay, I'll give it like a thought.
With being Greek, Greg, did you always think that you would be Greek?
No.
Okay.
No, it just kind of happened.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, basically, because like I didn't know anything about it, but my pro fight was my roommate freshman year.
Got it.
And so I got to watch him pledge, and then I got to talking with them and talking with the brothers, and
then the rest is
the rest
Listen,
is
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm from New York, and I gave Dani the blues about being Greek. That's because I didn't know anything about Greek life.
Right.
So,
woo child, woo chile.
Anyway, so I would have never expected to be Greek. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I had the opportunity and to learn more about it, but it wasn't something that was just like,
I'm going to college for this.
Yeah. Like there's some people who's like,
some people definitely do that.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, fuck them.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to do this shit.
Like, who are these guys?
Yeah, exactly. Like, nah.
Now I'm one of these guys.
Exactly. that's how it happens. Yeah. That was something that I always, we had Sam White out on, and he kind of talked about it, and it seems like for the most of us, we all kind of fall into it the same way. That it's just like, besides those who know that they wanted it, it was kind of like they knew somebody who introduced them to it, and it opened their eyes to it. So just wanted to get kind of your aspect of it.
Sure.
I have a question for you. Do you think that you would have shot your shot? Like, would you have known me if I wasn't Greek? I mean, like, we met at Jiho under the guise of just being people, but...
Well, I was with Dre.
Right.
So I wouldn't have known Dre if I didn't pledge.
If I wasn't Greek.
No, well...
I'm saying if I wasn't.
So if you weren't Greek, then I would have had no... I probably wouldn't...
You would have no one to vouch for you?
No, I probably wouldn't have... I wouldn't have even, I wouldn't have been, like, following you on Twitter or, like, Instagram or anything like that. Because I would have just known you through Deanna instead of in that whole community.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So it would have been harder for me
to just follow you.
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
It's easier for me to follow you if I know your line sisters.
Yeah. I would have had to shot my shot right then and there.
That's true, and that wouldn't have gone over well.
Yeah.
Because I would be like, Blizzard. She would be
like,
who's this fucking guy following?
How you going?
She's like, who is this following me? No. Same like the person's like, I don't know you, sir. Exactly.
Oh, that's who this is?
Seriously, so Greekdom is a wonderful thing when it wants to be.
Right.
Oh, goodness.
If used right.
Yeah.
If you use it right.
Yeah. Agreed. But I definitely can agree with that, though, because, like, that's, again, I'm a seasoned soror now of my organization. Because I'm. Because, golly, wait. How many years are we going to be now?
You're like 12 years.
12.
Wow. You're old as fuck.
Fuck you.
You're old.
Season. No, first of all, but I always say, I crossed when I was a sophomore. So I was like, as soon as I could be a Delta, I was a Delta. Like, it wasn't like super late in the game.
I think that's the best way to do it.
I loved it. I love being able to have like 2 whole
years. The most undergrad Greek experience that you can. Like, one of my pro fights, he crossed and graduated the same semester.
Yep, that was
it's like
some of my line sisters were like that. Yeah.
I mean, you can still come back though, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
You're right.
It's not the same.
I stayed a whole extra year
just so he could get in. Like,
yeah.
But and I think that like because my line sisters who graduated as soon as the same semester we crossed, it's like the understanding of like the experiences and sometimes even the like dynamic of like the relationship with our pro fights, because our relationships with our pro fights when we were like online versus when we're like all now we're doing the work and stuff like that, it's such a different dynamic, and like you miss that. But I appreciated that part, and I had a great fucking time, even if I'm old and whatever else.
I mean, that's the beauty of being old. You get more.
Well, you weren't old when you were having a great fucking time.
No, I wasn't.
That's the important
good
thing.
Lord, I was what, 19?
A child.
Sheesh,
what a time!
I was. Oh my goodness,
you make me feel like a baby.
You are a baby. I'm Spring 07, so I know I'm the oldest person at the table as far as geekdom, but that's okay. So I just, I knew what I wanted when I wanted it, and I went for it, despite the hard time TJ gave me.
Hey, listen.
So you're welcome.
It made us closer.
Sure.
I hate when you say that.
But enough about that. So we're going to actually take a minute and switch gears, because we talked about Greg and Mikal as a couple, but we're going to switch it over a little bit to Mikal's entrepreneurial efforts. And y'all, she has a catering company called Penthouse Eats.
Yes, ma'am.
And we want to make sure we give that a little love and attention, because
Not a little. We're gonna give it a lot of love.
A lot of love and attention. You know what I mean. Listen,
words mean things.
They do.
Exactly.
They do.
Exactly.
Okay.
So make it mean something.
Who's that? Never mind.
I got that from you.
Okay. So how did like Penthouse Eats come to be a thing?
So, all throughout college, I feel like I never actually behaved like a college student as far as cooking went or food went. Like, I had a meal plan first semester. I'm like, I'm a hungry child. 19 meals a week is going to do it for me. 17 or 19, whatever. But I would never use up all of them. I would end up going to, I can't even remember the name of the little convenience store in West Village, but I would just go there and buy up all my stuff to use up my meals.
It tracks. That was in Towson Ryan. So
I have never even heard of Tracks.
That's because it's not there anymore. Yeah.
In the bottom of Towson Ryan, they used to have
be like a convenience store.
Wow.
And we used to have all them extra meals.
On Thursday, right? Is that the day?
That's Thursday.
Yeah.
TJ.
Because we lived in Cardiff.
Okay.
And like TJ and Eric, just like take this with the Gatorade, just like swipe the whole show.
You got like 10 meals left each. That was like $50.
Yeah.
Right.
That thing went far.
But yes, go ahead.
So I was in PECA freshman year, and there was like a community kitchen, but I would always be down there cooking, whether it was just pasta, because like it's a mini fridge, you can't put a lot in a dorm room fridge. So whatever I could fit, I would go downstairs, make food. My now line sister, we've been friends since middle school, but she would come over, we'd bake cookies and all that fun stuff. And it was just, when we did get our kitchen, when we moved into Millennium, we were cooking all the time. Like Sunday dinner spreads on Tuesday. And it was nothing to us. And everyone was like, oh, Mikal, I gotta come over, I gotta get some food. And I would always go out to like restaurants in the area just to eat. I like to eat different stuff. I'm kind of picky, but I'm getting better. And people would ask me like, oh, like, where'd you get that? Where can I go to get this? XYZ. And they're like, oh, like, you should start a blog or something. Like, you cook a lot of food. People are always asking you, like, where are you getting this stuff? So I'm like, you know what? Let me try it. And people had been saying that for maybe like 3 years before I actually sat down. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should make this happen. And my parents even said that. They were like, you know, you can make this a little side hustle. And that didn't even come about until after I graduated, really. But I'm like, you know what? I enjoy doing this, and it wouldn't hurt at all. So let me give it a shot. And I started the blog in August of 2017. And every so often, like I'm not a huge blogger, so I was never on a rigid, like, all right, every Tuesday I'm going to post something. It's just like, oh, when I'm in the kitchen and I actually remember to write down what I use for recipes, I'll put it up, I'll post it. And then I made an Instagram to go with it. And from there, like, it's kind of just word of mouth. And it just grew. People were like, oh, like, do you meal prep? I'm like, I can. So that began, and I built up a pretty decent clientele. And whenever it stops feeling like fun, whenever it starts feeling like work, I'm like, all right, let me take a step back. No meal prepping this week. But yeah, it kind of just evolved. Like it wasn't a true plan.
Dope.
But then with the meal prepping, I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right.
Yeah. So
I went and I got my business license. I'm still trying to find a commercial kitchen to use, so I could do more at once. Yeah. I can only do so much
in your own personal kitchen. Yeah, it's not made for like these like mass quantities of food.
So a commercial kitchen, would you like rent one, or is that how it works?
It is, and it's usually for people who have like food trucks and stuff. So they're doing this day in and day out.
Gotcha.
I found that they have memberships. It's like, oh, such and such a month for unlimited access. But I'm like, I really only do this stuff on the weekend because I still have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I could fit this into my budget, but will I be getting the use? Like,
that makes sense.
It would take longer for it to pay for itself if I'm only doing this Saturday and Sunday. So I'm trying to find somewhere where it's like, oh, I'm pop in, use the kitchen, and pop out. But it's harder.
Would you ever?
Well, and the other thing with the kitchen is you're renting a space, and they're gonna try and get you on a contract.
Right.
So if they get you on, let's say, a 1-year contract, right? Those times you might say, all right, this is feeling like work. I need to take a step back.
I still got to pay for it.
You got to pay. You got to pay the rent to use that space.
No,
exactly.
I'm saying it's like daycare.
It is.
So with daycare, if your child is sick that week and they can't come, you still got to pay for that week. It doesn't stop because they weren't there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Daycare is not a weekly thing.
No.
Opt in, opt out. Like,
no.
You pay weekly, but it's not. Yeah.
Wow.
But you got to keep paying in order to make sure that when she comes back, that she has a spot there.
Which I really think is
so
the game.
You're paying for the spot.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing.
Wow.
Yeah. Once at our place, we've been there 6 months. We get 1 week a year free. Where we
How nice,
right?
Which is, but it is though, because there's other places. Like I have friends who their children's daycare is in schools.
Okay.
So if the school's closed, they're closed. And then even with that place, they have vacations. Like our place, they don't take vacations, so that's kind of a But there are some places that when the provider goes on vacation, you're still paying while they're on vacation.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's
hectic.
Children.
That's how it is.
That's children. But back to food. So what would you have you think that you've always had a passion for cooking and then and making things and kind of tinkering in the kitchen, and then do you ever think that you want it to become your full-time, or do you feel like it still needs to just be like something that you do out of like love and want?
Well, I think it started maybe when I was in high school. Like I've always been like a Food Network fanatic, but I would help my mom in the kitchen when she's making Sunday dinner. I'm like, that's my favorite meal, and I'm going to school in Maryland, so teach me how to make that just for when I can't come home. And then my dad has always like instilled like, all right, you gotta learn to fend for yourself. Like, don't eat out every day so you're spending up all your money, and don't depend on other people to cook for you. So
facts,
make it happen. So they kind of, planted the seed. And I kind of just experimented from there. It does not always go well. But it's always a learning experience. So I remember for the next time, like, oh my gosh, the other day I tried to make some almond croissants because Trader Joe's has these very, very, very delicious almond croissants. And I was running low. So I'm like, in case they don't have them next time, let me try to make them myself. and I got the filling right and everything, but the dough just wasn't as flaky as I wanted it to be. And I'm like, damn, I promoted this and everything. Like, I gotta try again. But now I know for next time, all right, maybe I'll add this, I'll add that.
Yeah.
Are you your own worst critic?
Yes.
Like, have you ever had something and you're like, this is not good, but Greg is like,
absolutely.
yo, this is fire.
All the time.
Okay.
I'm the self-proclaimed official Penthouse Eats taster.
I was saying, that was one of my questions. Like, you have to try everything.
No,
how much weight have you gained since you started dating
it's an everyday struggle, right? So like I'm already a gym rat, you know, and I pay attention to my nutrition and all that. So actually, it was funny when she was starting her meal prep. She came to me because I have meal prep for myself. She was like, all right, as far as like portions go, you know, and like weighing food out and doing all that. So that was fun. It was fun. I got to teach her and watch her, you know, take it and run with it and just do what she did, and it was incredible.
But
basically, every time she makes something, you know, well, first of all, I ask, how much does she have? And because, you know, I want to make sure that she has enough that she can get multiple dinners, you know, multiple lunches, but you got something extra?
You got some extra?
Babe, like, let me taste that. Let me just get a little bite.
But she also knows that, you know, so if I'm eating it, I'm going to like it. But if she wants a critique, she'll ask if I think it needs something or has too much of something, because I'm in the kitchen a lot too.
Okay.
And so I know spices and all that stuff. So she'll ask me sometimes just for slight additions. You know, does it need salt? You know. And so I'm kind of like her sous chef in the kitchen for real. So we do a lot of cooking together. She likes me because I cut potatoes and cut onions and do all the.
That's what I gotta do.
That she doesn't really want to do.
You're right. You see how that works?
No.
You see how that works? You said who cooks? I cook more than you do.
But when I have to cut onions, when I'm cooking, there's onions to be cut. I still have to cut the onions too.
Because you're the professional cutter. You already got the title.
You know, see, this is where we start the breakdown.
I'm just saying, you're a professional cutter already. So why would you come to me?
He tries to go, my hands are so big, I can't, you know.
They are.
He goes like, I can't hold the knife right. It was like,
I've never said I can't hold the knife.
Like,
you just making stuff up. That's what I do all the time.
You do like your hands are too big.
But I do, but I've never said I couldn't. I couldn't hold the knife.
So why can't you cut the onions? Because your hands are too big.
I never said that.
Why can't you cut the
I've
onions?
never cut onions before.
You won't know until you learn.
Okay. The next time
But he doesn't need to because he got you.
Nah.
I'm gonna learn, and then I'm really not gonna need you.
That's perfectly fine. I'll be over here.
Nah.
She'll step into the kitchen when it's ready.
Together in the kitchen. Well. I don't think so. Like we just in each other.
She doesn't have the patience for me. That's what it is.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I would go in the kitchen with you.
That's fine. But I don't. Sometimes just let me do my thing.
All right then. So then.
Okay, but you can cut the onions. You could be just be over there and I'm over here. That's all. That's all I ask. Because he comes over, like he said he probably like killed my like cooking spirit is because like he's like, I won't say, you know how she's like, babe, do I need this? What do you think this should have? He'll like look over and he'll be like, what's that?
That's a question. See,
like,
that's when the inquisitive, like I ask questions.
I don't like that. What's that? Like, you take the joy out of it.
Nah, that's because
he's a picky eater.
That's because Dani gets so like, if I be like, this was good, but then for her it's like I'm never cooking again, and it's just like things can always be better. Like
things could always be better.
But Dani likes to be a perfectionist a lot of the times.
Yeah, but
I get it.
Yeah, but I recognize that though too. That like TJ needs like he nitpicks everybody's food, so I need to not take it so personal.
I mean, if you're gonna make it again, then
we could be at like we could be like a 4-star restaurant, and he'd be like, well, he was like, the chicken was a little chewy or something like that.
So I shouldn't have an opinion. I should just be like, we're at a 4-star restaurant, so this is great food because we're in a 4-star restaurant. No.
Oh my gosh. So here's another one for you guys. So like,
I didn't answer the second part of your question.
My bad. Go ahead, girl.
In response to would I do this full time, I think I could, but I do enjoy my job.
Okay.
So
it makes it a little bit harder.
Right. Like don't wake up in the morning like, damn, I gotta go to work. I wish I could just be in the kitchen right now.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right.
A 9 to 5 that you love while being able to have like a hobby that you love.
And my coworkers support the hobby completely.
Oh yeah, that's definitely always good. What do you do again for your full time?
I'm an industrial hygienist. Sounds fancy.
Explain to us, to all of us who don't know what that is.
So I go into government buildings and schools. Haven't been to a hospital yet, but apparently we do hospitals as well. And I check water quality for lead content.
Oh.
I check air quality for moles levels. And let's say they're demolishing part of a building, an old government building, probably has asbestos in it. So when they're doing their work, I make sure that nothing is getting in the air that would affect others' health.
That's very important. Very important.
I like to think
you would have a field day at Baltimore City Public Schools. Good Lord. You know what? I got to show you a picture of the corner of my room. You're probably going to screw your face up and be like, oh, you teach children in there? You're like, yeah. We just...
You're sure you're going to lose your job.
We just stay...
At least we got heat, right?
Exactly. Well, you know...
Yikes.
That's another episode again. But we just stay away from that corner. That's
okay.
all. But
we don't look at it.
Exactly. We just don't. I tried to paint over it, but the paint wouldn't stay.
So, because you would just be going. What is your favorite dish to make versus your favorite meal to eat?
Ooh.
That was my question. I wrote that.
You love just taking all the shine.
Yes, I do.
You should call this episode Shine Stiller.
Favorite meal to make?
Or you could do like a top 3, because...
Yeah, she can't do one.
I can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She can't do one.
Oxtail is definitely up there.
Fuck yes, I love me some good oxtails. Do you like oxtails, TJ?
I do.
Girl,
I do like oxtails. When did I not like the oxtails?
When I try to order them from the Jamaican spot.
No, because that Jamaican spot joint don't be falling off the bone.
All right,
Continue.
we'll be in contact. Ooh.
That's crazy, yo.
I love slow roasting salmon.
Okay.
And that was actually adopted from, if you guys follow her on Twitter, the Kitchenista. She has a recipe for slow roasted salmon. So I took that and I'm like, all right, I'm going to throw anything and everything I can on it every single time. And it tastes different, but it still tastes amazing.
Kitchenista is being followed.
All right. Lamb in general. I make lamb meatballs. I can do lamb chops. But
lamb is very good.
I do enjoy lamb.
It has to be made right, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah. How about you, Greg?
Ooh. Her jerk wings. The jerk wings, that's the winner for me.
Shout out to my mama. This is her recipe.
My mom got the recipe, and every time she goes home, I'm like, your mom making some jerk wings? Come back with a container, just wings. It's like, I don't need anything else. I just need the wings. Gone. One sitting.
I can understand that. I do enjoy some jerk seasoning. It's like when I want it, it's like, damn, I really, really need to have this right now. Do you prefer? Do you have like a favorite like cuisine? Like even if you're not necessarily something that you cook, but like just a type of food, style of food that you could like. I can always eat this.
Italian.
Yeah, I'm always a toss up between like Italian and Mexican. Like,
yeah.
Cause like fajitas.
Yes.
I'm a subscriber to like. If it makes my breath stink, then I like
garlic.
it. So like garlic, onions, peppers, like
give
me all of that. Like anything like that, I'm down for. So that's me and my sister. We're both like that. TJ maybe a little not so much.
I'm basic.
But
give me a pizza.
You like surf and turf. You love lobster.
I do love it, but I think my favorite meal would probably be pizza. Like
okay.
Like especially if it's like a good pizza. You can't ever go wrong with that.
I say all the time, I'm like, I would give up red meat, except that like I love every once in a while like a good ass burger. Like a good ass burger. I can't. Like, I don't have to have steak. I don't have to have.
Nah.
And I don't have to have.
I need a steak.
But
steak.
you don't even. Okay, I'm not gonna shame.
I'm on the grill all the time. I was on the grill.
What, 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I
had a shovel. I was shoveling off the
on one
grill.
side, and you're like, well,
yeah.
might as well fire it up. Like,
yeah, it was on. I needed to make. I had this Asian zing sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings. Found it in Costco. It was over with.
hell yeah.
Over with.
So wait, speaking of this is mumbo sauce is PG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like we not discovered mumbo sauce, but like we've recently, like the last year, incorporated it like this. The one that we can find at the Giant up here into our house. I put that shit on everything.
Oh, what, the Capital City?
Yes, the spicy one, the black
yeah.
label one. I put that shit on everything. It don't matter what it is. Like, if you're having pizza, just put a little on there. Cheesesteak, put a little bit on there.
Wow, I'm not putting on everything.
I put it on everything. I put it on the eggs before.
It can go on a lot.
It can. It definitely can. It's not my first time, like, I guess having it, like, for real. Cause
You're saying?
I haven't been in PG enough to, like, have it, like, supposed to go, like, the carry out. And then it's like, you don't go to that carry out, you gotta go to this carry out.
No, exactly. Because
every
spot, it's all different.
Yeah.
No.
It's like going to Philly for a cheesesteak. It's like, some people say you gotta go here, you gotta go there.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I tried it one time when I was in college and I was like, I don't get what it's cracked up about. But now that shit right now that I got in my refrigerator, that shit hits.
See, and that's where it comes down to. Every spot's different. Some spots they just be using like sweet and sour sauce.
That's what it was.
I pass it up.
Exactly. I was like,
sauce.
I was like, this is sweet. I was like, this doesn't taste like anything.
It's like, nah. I need the real stuff.
It's been introduced into our household. We're very grateful for it.
Very good.
We've been blessed. Shout out to Giant for carrying it.
We didn't get to answer it because we cut you off. We do apologize.
Sorry.
What is your favorite dish to make? Like, what is your go-to? You can give us 2 or 3.
I would say for something quick, stir fry.
Okay.
Stir fry any which way. I just made beef and broccoli stir fry the other day. And I'm going to shout you out real quick, babe. So, I appreciate this gentleman over here for contributing to my kitchen adventures. Last Christmas, he bought me one of those KitchenAid stand mixers.
Oh, I've heard wonderful things.
And I've made so many batches of cookies off of that. And this Christmas, he got me the meat grinder attachment.
Fancy.
So
yes, I did see on your IG you was grinding.
Yes.
See, I don't know if I can do all that stuff. Like, that's too much.
I would do it if I had the time.
Right. It's very time consuming.
If I had the time.
No, I'm just thinking about like the textures. Like, I'll make turkey
bothering
burgers and I'll be like, hey, Danny, I need you to.
That's why I hate cutting eggs, because he called me in it because he don't like the feeling of like
I can make it
between his hands.
I can make it. I can taste it. I can do all that stuff. But sometimes that feeling is just
It makes me know. Never mind. But that's why I'll help you out, babe.
So that meatballs. Okay. Meatballs. I make Thai chili turkey meatballs. I made lamb meatballs, and those were really, really good, really, really good. And I got a precision cooker.
What's that?
So the idea of it is to keep whatever you're cooking at one consistent temperature instead of putting it on the stove where you gotta keep adjusting the fire. So let's say I'm waking up to go to work, but I want steak for dinner. I'm gonna put the steak in like a vacuum sealed container, throw it in a pot of water, and put the precision stick in there and set it for like 140 degrees.
Oh, is it called like
the sous vide? Yeah.
So I follow Chef Risha.
Okay.
So she be sous vide all the time. Yes. I know that word. Thank you.
So I'll put it in there, and because it's not going to go over 140 degrees, it's never going to overcook. So I can let it sit in there all day, and it'll stay at medium. And then when I get home, I take it out the bag and just sear it really quick. And I just got a steak for dinner.
So, yes, I was doing my Googles about that because I was like, that sounds like something really...
So you'll leave a pot on all day?
It's not on the stove. It's like I put it on
little
heat resistant little
pad.
corkboard,
Okay.
and fill it with water up to a certain point. If anything,
then the machine, the precision,
Yes.
makes it hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if anything, the water evaporates. When it evaporates, it turns off by itself. So there's low risk
Yeah.
for it.
So it's almost like it's not like it's in the essence of a crock pot. It was like
But,
it's like slow
like a
cooks
water
it,
bath.
but
Yeah.
like a water bath. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
We may have to buy that. We may have to get that in here because I will say this. I do enjoy cooking, and like I sometimes like definitely like I like following people like Chef Risha. I like it's almost like food porn a little bit. Like I watch it and I'm like, damn. I was like, I would. Oh, if I had like 4 hours to myself in the kitchen, I would like fuck that up. But I definitely can like appreciate because it's something very like sometimes it's therapeutic too,
Right.
and I can appreciate that because I was the 6 to 9 months before we got married, and like all I did was like get on Pinterest and like look up different recipes and just I was like making banana bread and all types of fun stuff and I'm like I just want to see like I want to see if I can make it and like have him try stuff or whatever. But that's something I definitely want to work on because then like life and job changes and kids and all stuff like that. So now I'm just like whatever's quick, like let's eat it. So but this inspires me to like try it because I want to do better. And I like different things, and I'm, it's easy to get tired of the same things because quick often limits the scope of what you can do. But,
Check out the blog.
Yeah,
There's some recipes on there.
Yes, I shall.
Yeah.
Oh, chili. Chili is also one of my favorite things to make.
Chili is good, and this is the time of year for it too. When it's cold outside, a hot bowl of chili. How about you? You like chili, baby?
It's cool.
Our love for food is probably the one thing that we have most in common with each other.
Aww.
It's like we'll spend the entire day and half of our conversations will just be talking about food.
I'm like, what are we gonna make next, babe?
I like that. That's always important because ultimately you want to make sure that like you have that like thread of like something that you guys can like share together and have a passion about, and that way you can kind of build off of it. And if anything you have nothing else to talk about, you can talk about that because there will come a time maybe several years down the line because 2 years to me sounds like y'all are still in the infancy but still you guys have
They're in their 20s.
it's different. You're right
It is.
but
We were dating in our teens. Like,
yeah, that was so like we were going together but it was like for play but
Whoa.
what does that even mean?
like they didn't have any like responsibilities, like they have jobs and
That's
they have
not
like
play. That was some serious shit.
At least to one of y'all.
I took it serious, but I was just like,
So that means I could have been talking to other girls?
no.
Wow, it was play.
No.
I'm just going to go over your words.
So what is your 5? Let me go skip to the next question.
I love how you just...
I just navigate I direct the conversation where I want it,
Go
right?
ahead.
So what, like, let's say 5 years. Like, where do you see Penthouse Eats?
Ooh. That's a good question.
That's what we try to do here on the Lovers Quarrel podcast.
I would like to be maybe not in my own storefront, but to have maybe a couple of pop-up shops under my belt. I would like to broaden my range, my radius of delivery. Like maybe if I go home to see my parents a couple weekends, I'll cook for the people I know there.
Yeah.
I'd like to have more catering gigs or private dinner events under my belt because I feel like with each one of these events that I have, like, it gets better. Like, I'm always working on, how can I display that? And I'll reach out to other people who I follow on Instagram who are more established in the realm of cooking and catering. And I'll ask, like, okay, so I love your presentation. Like, how do you manage to keep this food hot? So I'm always kind of, like, taking notes just so I can better myself. And hopefully with that comes a larger audience. And I don't know if I'll own my own restaurant one day. Maybe, but I'm just going with the flow, really.
Makes sense.
That's fair. Maybe like after, like it could be like second career, like you're like 45 and you decide, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
And now you got like a wealth of like, you're like, I could just switch gears and do that. So,
you could do it, turn into an author. You always do that.
Yeah, you can write about it.
We're waiting for the
Do a
Penthouse
cookbook?
Eats cookbook.
Do a cookbook.
And it's like, I make stuff sometimes, and people are like, oh, can I have that recipe? I'm like, I'm saving it. You'll get it one day. I'm saving it for the book.
Well,
Listen, that makes sense.
do it. You gotta make sure you get on it, because listen, cookbooks are like cake. Like literally, there's a lot of money to be made, because people always want to try to do better in the kitchen, and there's a lot of people who
They want to change how they're eating or what they're eating, or they want to jump into different type of meals. So.
yes. So it's not spaghetti every night, absolutely. Even though spaghetti is always good.
Always a good option.
It's always a good option. But with that being said, I think, we kind of wrapped this sucker up, but we want to thank you guys. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay.
Just, you can see if I had any more questions I wanted to ask.
Do you have
I don't.
Because I know you so well, babe.
You don't
that
know
I
me.
knew that you did
don't
not have
know
anything
me
else
at
to ask. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you have fun.
I absolutely did.
It was a great time.
Yeah, so like we got a little bit of the perspective on the interracial dating, and we also got the little
The business.
the business side of it. We covered the gamut here. As always, we want to make sure we give an opportunity for our listeners to know where they can find you. So if you want to share your handles, Instagrams, anything of the sort.
I always forget my own Twitter name because there's a underscore somewhere. Okay, so on Twitter you can find me at Mick Jagger, MIKJAGGER _ and or Penthouse Eats, which is also my Instagram handle, Penthouse Eats.
We'll also put it on the show notes.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you follow it. It's food porn. So but like in the best, I'm saying in like the most gentlest and kindest way possible. I watch these things just because I wait for the day that I can do them. So please follow and support. And where, like, as far as like your catering and your meal prepping, like what's your radius right now? So I'm like in Columbia-ish, so right in the middle of Baltimore and PG. So when I do these events, I have no problem going to Baltimore or Bowie, but if let's say you're in DC, like it's a hop, skip, and jump away. So I'm flexible. So say like the Baltimore DC area, with proper notice, of course.
Right.
Unless you're paying a whole lot of money, then you're like, I will clear my schedule. Exactly, I will go. Greg, is there anything you want us to let people know about? Or
so my Instagram is at 50 shades _of _Greg. And the Twitter is the same, but without the first underscore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to give you guys my website.
Yes, please and thank you.
PenthouseEats.com is where you can find all things food about myself. We've got some recipes on the blog as well as some restaurant recommendations. And soon you will be able to order your meal preps online.
Awesome.
Yes.
Big things coming.
That's exciting.
That's awesome.
Well, we want to thank you guys again for coming on the show. We can't wait until it drops, and we will make sure that we put it out for everybody. You guys know that you can follow us on Instagram at Lovers Quarrel Show, on Twitter at Lovers Quarrel 7, or email us with questions, concerns, comments, feedback at loversquarrelshow@gmail.com. Don't forget you can listen to us on pretty much any podcast platforms. Download, leave feedback, like us, all that good stuff. And this has been another episode. It's in the bag.
Yes.
So as always, I am your girl Dani,
I'm your guy TJ,
and y'all know that we fuss
and we fight a lot,
but we love. Bye.
Later, y'all. Say bye.
Bye-bye.